We are entering the trifecta activations cycle of the year, and this starts on October 10th with the first 1010 portal. For the rest of the year, we will be largely impacted with numeric divine light currents instigated by 3 powerful mirror numbers. The next one will be activated on November 11th, giving us the 1111 activation code. And we will conclude this trifecta cycle on December 12th with the 1212 Christ Consciousness Code. This is such an exciting time for us energetically. I'm sure you can feel it. The generous, all-supporting, benevolent, nourishing, and magical universe sends blessings in a favorable numeric cycle, which I call the trifecta. Guided by the light of the full moon on October 10th, the 1010 portal activation ignites the trifecta spiral, leading us closer to the completion of 2025. Hello and welcome. I'm Sara Bachmeier with Egyptian Numerology. I'm the author of Egyptian Numerology, Emergence into the Fifth Dimension, and The Path of a Wounded Healer, Liberation is for the Asking. And you can now learn how to calculate your numerology, Egyptian style, with my new courses available on my website. I still do private readings and work with individuals in my 90-day mentorship program. But by popular demand, I now teach Egyptian numerology. The trifecta is a series of mirror ascension numbers called gateways or portals that activate our DNA, our memory banks, or cellular memory, and our soul purpose. It is an awakening virtue of ominous stature, bringing forth opportunities to advance further on our spiritual journey. This is the last energetic push forward from the universe so that we may grow into the highest version of ourselves and our purpose. 1010 awakens our ability to penetrate the outer realms. It is an initiation from our higher self to pierce the matrix through our intention to go beyond the third dimension of time and space. This takes us to many concepts that we may not fully understand at the moment, but we can feel that our spiritual journey progresses here. It begins with trusting our intuition and deep desire to be independent from the third dimensional way of being. The 1010 initiation is for the real deep thinkers, the deep feelers, and the dreamers. It is the gateway to the dream time, the realm of all possibilities, and our deepest desire to be free. Mirror numbers have always been a numerology enigma. We know that they're powerful and have significant meaning, but we may still struggle to interpret what they reference to. In Egyptian numerology, we recognize the 4-digit numeric symbol as an ascension code to pay attention. And a reminder that ascension codes have 4 digits and angel numbers have 3. So we're into the last 3 ascension codes of the year. To get the most out of the 1010 equation or any 4-digit equation, we add the numbers together to find the direction of our focus. In the total of the 1010 equation, we get the number 20, and we can reduce it down to the number 2, keeping in mind that the 0 is an important digit or symbol in the 1010 equation. And this means that our focus will be on balance, merging duality, and the importance of our relationships. Numerology and astrology often overlap. For instance, the 1010 Ascension Code resonates with the sun sign of Libra in the light that both the number 2 and Libra signify balance, relationships, or the union of yin and yang energies. Ascension numbers obviously point to our human ability to rise above. And with a 9 universal year backing the ascension number of 1010, we are being asked to go deeper and heal separation, anxiety, and depression. We know that we have to come to terms with duality when we can review our entire life, past and parallel, with a neutral perspective. We know that everything had to happen exactly the way that it did for us to be in this present moment, for you to be listening to this video and to be ready to expand, evolve, and explore further. In the relationship forum, forgiveness and compassion are being asked to extend out to those who still use forms of deception to gain their success. Those who rely on manipulating others carry deep wounds of unworthiness. They are so detached from source light that they make it their life mission to steal it away from others. For them, a great act of surrender and humility is the only rock that will smash their delusions. Without compassion and forgiveness for those who are still suffering the separation from source energy, we may remain lingering onto our own version of deception because we cannot see something in someone else unless we carry the same stigma. Once we can replace our sadness and anger with forgiveness and compassion toward ourselves, we can then begin to find a neutral perspective with those that are still suffering the illusion of separation. When the mere numbers 1010 are presented, it's signifying the power of the number 10 doubled. Mirror numbers refer to our ability to see the outside world as a reflection of what is going on with our internal life. Many of you know that I refer to the number 2 as eliminating judgment from our point of view, but it is much more deeper than that. It asks us to develop a natural perception of neutrality. Balance is about neutrality, finding the center between opposition. And as we begin to shimmer in our new crystalline light body, there is more expected of us. Transmitting dense energy into a higher frequency requires the gift of neutrality. If we still identify with past emotional triggers, then we are definitely not in a neutral space. And you can test yourself easily by finding a past or recent episode in your life that still triggers an emotional twinge, maybe gives you an uncomfortable or queasy stomach, and produces short, shallow breaths whenever you're reminded of it. You can practice on this trigger, and when you can transmute the trigger of this episode in your life into a neutral stance, you gain more confidence and courage to participate in the world more comfortably. Many relationships are formed through manipulation. You really have to examine all of your relationships. The manipulation may be slight, or it may be a habit that you have learned and performed so many times that you don't even know that you're doing it. Most relationships or 3D relationships are in a give and take dynamic. We want something from somebody, or they want something from us. Conflict enters a relationship when one or more people change the agreement without permission. Let's say that you befriended someone from your company because you admired their position in the field. You take them to lunch, and then eventually they take you to lunch. And then before long, you're saying hello to each other and confiding in each other. But then a time comes when you get promoted and you no longer need to keep this friendship in order to get ahead. Slowly, your relationship fades away and your reason for reaching out becomes obsolete. The other person may be slightly hurt and not know why you distanced yourself. Manipulation leads to expectations, and unmet expectations can lead to resentment. When you take responsibility for being in alignment with the highest integrity possible, you render the need and the act of forgiveness obsolete. Neutrality means that you're in agreement that everything happens for a reason, whether you understand it or not. If you're no longer triggered by misunderstandings, then there is no need to forgive yourself or anyone else for their actions. Being neutral doesn't mean not acting in the face of injustice. It means having the power to correct the situation without violence. When manipulation ceases to exist in your relationships, you find that you're involved with less people. You become more interested in forming heart-based relationships, and this adds more balance to your life. When you resist being manipulated and you stop feeling like you need to take something from other people, you gain true independence, source sustenance, and divine autonomy. And here lies the true essence of the 1010 portal activations. The number one adds the necessity for autonomy. There may be a void once you remove manipulation out of the equation with your relationships. And this is where the zero realm comes in. And you can feel this with the opportunity to gain peace and heart-centered joy. Of course, there'll be different levels of awareness with this 1010 equation when it comes to the meaning within any number sequence. Numbers always speak to the level of consciousness that you reside. October 10th opens our first gateway. 1010 represents the power of self, body, heart, mind, and spirit. It awakens our sovereign journey through our connection to source light. Numbers 1010 represent the beginning of the ending of a cycle and achieving the attainment of wholeness. It is both masculine and feminine, reflects the unity that is possible once we integrate the fragmented pieces of our inner self. So thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope you received some useful information, or at least information to ponder on, about the energy that is penetrating our personal and collective realms. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. To learn more about Egyptian numerology, please visit my website at www.egyptiannumerology.org. Have a blessed month. Namaste.